It's raining so lovely right now. It's actually hailing a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear. If you can't, I was trying. Welcome to the Pillow Talk podcast, except it's just Kai in bed yapping. The vibe here is that point of a sleepover where you're just lying in bed and things get really sad or funny or political, anything extreme, that's the goal. So enjoy. I think people forget about their values a lot. And I think returning to your values when you're trying to make different decisions, I mean more decisions on like the kind of person you want to be, the way you want to act, the way you want to look. I think that can make choices a lot easier because when it comes down to it, your values matter the most. And I actually first started thinking of this when I read the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And such a good book. Highly recommend. If you're looking for a book to read and you haven't read that one, that book changed my life. And this was one of the biggest take home messages I got from it. It was basically also emphasizing that in life, it really does come down to your values. But he was talking of it more in like a deciding what you want to give a fuck about. Like one of his big examples was that something happened to his mom or something. And then people were like, oh no, but we can't say anything because it'll like ruin the other person's life. But then he was like, I don't give a fuck about what happens there. My values is to look out for my loved ones and be there for my loved ones and make sure that they're okay. So that's what I give a fuck about. That was kind of his angle on the topic. I'm talking more about like, and I think this goes more for women because we are always told to act a certain way, look a certain way, present ourselves in a certain way. And I think we tend to ignore our values in all of that. For the most part, I understand it, and I will never judge anyone for succumbing to these things because for most women, it is a survival strategy to just live up to the male gaze, and I totally get that. And I think for the most part, we still live in that kind of a society. It's obviously not that bad anymore, but we do to a point still need that validation in order to progress. But when I was reading this book, I actually started thinking a lot about a lot of different things in my life that I just did. And I was like, okay, I started questioning, why do I do all these things that I do? Is the inherent reason because I actually like doing these things, because they actually make me feel good? Or do they make me feel good because I'm getting validated, because it's taking away this fear that I might not fit in or something? But I genuinely realized that one of my values that I've been overlooking for so long, and I've always known true to my heart that it's a value of mine, is authenticity. Being authentic, listening to yourself, doing what feels right to you. That has always been one of my biggest values. The biggest way I saw myself not living up to that was shaving my legs. And I actually started realizing this before reading this book because I was thinking about why I shave. And for the most part, I actually do like shaving my armpits and my
private part
because that's more hygienic. Like when I shave those areas, I feel better. And also, I struggle with body odor quite badly. Like I have a smell to me. My mother made that very clear to me my whole life that if I don't wear deodorant, I'm going to stink. And having body hair, it kind of contributes to that because then bacteria can grow, and bacteria are the ones that kind of make it really smelly. So shaving to me is helping with that, and it makes me feel better and as if I'm helping it. You know what I mean? And I don't really like the idea of it being unhygienic down there. But whenever I thought about why I shaved my legs, the only good thing I could think of was that feeling when you're climbing into like a fresh bed of sheets or a fresh, what? A bed of fresh sheets, whatever. You know, you climb into bed, there's fresh sheets, you're freshly shaven, and it's like you can't even feel anything. That's literally the only thing that I genuinely enjoyed about it. But when I thought about why I really do it, it's for comfort almost. Like when I go out, I don't have to worry about people judging me. I don't have to worry about anyone calling me out for looking like a man. When I say comfort, it's not because I'm more comfortable, but like more socially comfortable rather. It would make me feel better going out in public or going to family events or whatever and not feeling like anyone would judge me. That's why I've now stopped shaving my legs. Whoop whoop. It's just because every time I thought about it, it actually just made me more and more uncomfortable. And then I started looking online at different celebrities. And I swear I've only found like one that doesn't shave their legs. I realized how difficult that has been for women to unlearn, to come out of. Like the fact that it's not more common now. Like, I mean, these days it has become more common to do a lot of the things that were frowned upon in older times. And like, shaving legs is still such a thing that you look around and every woman shaves their legs. It really does blow my mind that I don't have more people to look up to for this. Like, it actually puts a person off because you're like, maybe I should just shave, because even every feminist I know online is shaving, and it is seen as a feminist thing because you're going against gender norms. It just blows my mind that that is one thing we are struggling to normalize in a way. And because of this, me not shaving has actually been a little bit of an adjustment. Like, I've had to relearn the definition of sexy, because my whole life, sexy has like, when I got down to it in my head, sexy actually meant feeling like men would like me, feeling like I looked good in men's eyes. And unfortunately, men have also only been exposed to women that are cleanly shaved, that don't have body hair. So to them, that is also what sexy is. We've changed the whole definition of sexy. And when I think about it, actually, like, I think about a lot of the people that I find attractive and cool and whatever. To me, being sexy is literally just embodying your true self and feeling good about yourself, feeling good in your skin, and actually expressing the things that you truly believe and not just falling in line with everything else that everyone else is doing. That is sexy to me. That shit is like, fuck yes. Like, oh, I love that shit. And so I've been trying to keep that in mind when I think of, oh, but do I look sexy? And then it's like, don't think about what has been engraved in my brain. What I truly believe is true. And I feel fucking great. I have also been trying to just embrace it, wearing shorts out. And something that has been unexpected to me is, for some reason, I thought it was going to be so noticeable that I'm not shaving my legs. I thought everyone was going to be saying something, and actually, no one's noticed or no one said anything. That was the thing that I was so expectant of. Like, I really thought people were going to be like, oh my word, you don't shave. I even wore shorts in front of my mom and she didn't notice. And that I know is not noticing, because if she noticed, she definitely would have had something to say. And she didn't. I am still worried to tell her about it though. We'll get there. The whole reason that I'm also scared to tell her is because the internalized misogyny is so real and it's so sad. I hate it so much. We've embodied the beliefs that capitalism and patriarchy have taught us. We've been taught men don't have to give a fuck about what they look like for us, but we must look good, you know? We must take care of ourselves. We must look like a fucking baby. Don't you think that's creepy as well? I don't know. Anyway, so I know that telling my mom that, she's immediately going to say that I'm not taking care of myself, which I hate, because to me, shaving my legs isn't taking care of myself. I gym all the time. I do yoga. I meditate. I journal. I actually work through my shit, which, I'm sorry, but a lot of older generations don't. But shaving my legs is taking care of myself. I still take care of my skin. I moisturize. I make sure I'm not putting any bad chemicals on my skin. That is taking care of myself to me. Not caring what people think. I don't think anyone should be supporting that. I think everyone should just be promoting everyone feeling good in their skin and living up to their beliefs, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. So I don't think that this should be frowned upon at all. I mean, it should be more normalized. I don't know, man. I think it's so sad. Well, as I was saying, one of the good things that I found with shaving my legs was that I wouldn't be judged, all that. I would feel comfortable around other people. No one would have to criticize me or whatever. But I actually realized, and this goes with a lot of other values, if I stop shaving and the people around me judge me and don't want me to be like that and don't feel the same about me anymore, I actually shouldn't take that as a bad thing, because that just means that they're very shallow. And why do I want to be friends with someone that's shallow? Or why do I want to associate with someone that's superficial? They should be respecting me for who I am, not for what I look like. So I realized that doing this would actually reveal untrue friendships and connections that I actually don't want, but just didn't realize. You know what I mean? So that made me a little bit less scared. And I had to teach myself like the more that people with values I don't agree with retaliate to me, it actually indicates that I'm doing a good thing because I don't resonate with those people and I don't agree with the things that they agree with. So, me causing a retaliation in them is actually a good thing. And it's not that I'm trying to trigger people. Like, this is me trying to make a situation better because right now the situation is I'm scared of being judged. But really, is it such a bad thing? And then also, when people get triggered about it, you are now given the opportunity to like teach them something new and open their mind to like a new possibility. I really do think it does more good than bad. So why not? And this goes for so many things. Like, it doesn't just have to do with shaving legs, but honestly, this has been really big for me. And I think it is such a profound topic, even though to me it's actually so stupid that it's so profound. You know what I mean? But it is because for so many years we've been conditioned to believe that women need to shave in order to be women, which I also think is so crazy because one of my values again is to embrace God's creation. So, in doing this, I'm actually respecting the way God created women because for some reason, society has convinced us that just being a woman is not enough to define femininity and what a woman is. No, apparently, the way you're born, the way you're made to grow up, they're like, that's not feminine. And I think that is actually disrespectful to God, genuinely. God literally made women to grow hair in their adulthood. And we've allowed society to tell us that that's not feminine. We are women. We define femininity. Like, what do you mean? It actually blows my mind in so many ways. And then I started thinking about a lot of other things I do, like plucking my eyebrows and doing my makeup. And I realized that the plucking my eyebrows thing, that was never something that I was bullied into doing. It wasn't something that everyone was like, oh, to be a woman, you need to be plucking your eyebrows. Like, yes, I saw other women doing it, but I also saw women that weren't doing it. My mom actually wasn't doing it. She only started doing her eyebrows recently, and it was because she liked the way it looked when I showed it to her. And it was never like, oh, you have to do this. You know what I mean? That has genuinely been something that makes me feel good because it emphasizes my features, not covers them up. And that's something I also healed with makeup. And for a lot of people, go them. They make it look good. And I know that it can also make you feel good. But for me, every time I was using things like base and concealer, I realized I was just hiding my features and I was trying to cover things up. And it was a negative relationship. But really, I'm not hating on that stuff. Like, girls do their makeup so amazingly. But yeah, I noticed a toxic relationship between me and that kind of makeup. But when it comes to me doing my eyebrows and wearing eyeliner and mascara, I'm not covering things up. I'm enhancing things and it feels good. It feels so cool. Sometimes when I do my makeup, like my eye makeup in a different way, it actually makes me feel like a different person. And it makes sense because a lot of people look at makeup as an art expression. It really does feel that way. Like when you feel like being a different person or a different version of yourself, makeup aids in that expression. And part of my value is expressing yourself authentically. So, yeah, I healed my relationship with makeup by not using things that I tend to use to cover my features up. But again, this is different for everyone. But yeah, I'm just kind of explaining what I mean by values and how deep it can go into pretty much everything. And I only realized this year. The makeup thing I did learn in high school. Like in high school, I was trying really hard to do like full faces of makeup when I went out and stuff. And I think by the time it came to matric, I learned that my relationship with makeup wasn't what I wanted it to be, and it wasn't good. And then I just stuck to doing eyebrows and mascara, and now it's kind of evolving with eyeliner and eyeshadow and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm learning to make it healthy and keep it healthy and just stick to my values each time. And that is really what I mean in this whole episode, really. Like it all comes down to your values, and you shouldn't be scared to live up to your values because if you're worried about people judging you or people being against you, if that happens, which I'm learning it actually doesn't happen as much as you think it will, if that happens, you're just being revealed the people that you don't actually resonate with. If they're that shallow, fuck them. They should love you for who you are, for real. The rain is starting to slow down, which is kind of cool because now I'm starting to slow down in this podcast. It's just aligning, man. These things don't have to be that deep. I sometimes hate that it is. It's kind of the way society has made it. Like, as much as I just want it to be like everyone can make a decision on how they portray themselves and what they do with their body, it's not that simple. People do question you, people do judge you. And so I think it is important to recognize this and to learn what to give a fuck about and what not to give a fuck about. Society can have us forgetting what's actually important and what actually matters in life. Comment your thoughts down below, please. I want to know what you think. I hate that this is a one-way thing when I'm recording. Thank you so much for listening to today's Pillow Talk episode. If you have any thoughts, please comment them down below. I want this to be a conversation, like a sleepover. I love you so much. Bye.